I lost 50 pounds in 3 months with 3 simple habits. And in today's video, I want to give you those 3 simple habits, how you can put them into your fat loss routine, and why they'll make fat loss so much easier for you moving forward. My name is Josiah Novak. I run a company called The True Transformation. We've been in business for over 15 years. We help thousands of busy professionals make fitness enjoyable, sustainable, and something that fits into their life without having to sacrifice work, family time, and social obligations. And I also started overweight. I was 65 pounds overweight, frustrated with the lack of clarity around how to get in better shape. There was just too much information out there, and I wanted something that ultimately brought me truth. Hence why we started The True Transformation. So these videos are for the fellow busy dads, the fellow busy professionals, the parents out there who are like, dude, I want to be around for my kid, want to be in great shape, want to look good, yes, but ultimately want to feel awesome as well. Now, my journey started with losing about 65 pounds, but 50 pounds of those came off relatively fast. And I want to share with you some of the things I did right. I did a lot wrong early on. I tested out all the stuff, all the crap, all the diets, and a lot of the things I did were just point blank pretty unhealthy. But ultimately, I figured it out. And back then, there were a few things, in today's video, I'm going to break down 3 of them, that I did really, really well, that I still do now, that I know will serve you a ton when it comes to transforming your body. So let's start with the first habit that I had in place. I call this habit non-negotiable movement. You know, we don't always have time to get to the gym every single day. Life happens, emergencies pop up, work meetings get on your schedule, and next thing you know, you're having to move things around. The one thing that kept me sane, especially back then when I was losing a ton of weight, was the fact that I could pretty much move anywhere. What I mean by that is, if I couldn't make it to the gym one day or my routine just had to make a shift, I'm able to get a walk in. I'm able to go walk around the office, walk around the house, walk around the neighborhood, pretty much anytime I need to. Even if I'm on a phone call or have to take a work meeting, I'm able to get non-negotiable movement. This will do a number of things. Of course, first and foremost, you burn more calories, right? You're not sitting around. You're tapping into fat because you're creating a bigger calorie deficit by moving more. But number 2 is you keep momentum going. This is a huge part of the mental game. You know, one bad day can quickly turn into a week or 2 weeks. You know, I talk to a lot of people who are like, yeah, I'm on point for a few days and then I just fall off. You know, something happens and I lose momentum, I lose motivation. So having this non-negotiable part of your routine where no matter what, you're gonna move. You know, even if you don't get to the gym, even if nutrition is just a little bit off, right? You're gonna get a walk in. You're gonna get some cardio in. This doesn't have to be a run. This doesn't have to be anything intense. It could literally just be, no matter what, I'm walking for a total of 30 minutes a day. Even if that's 3 10-minute walks, 2 15-minute walks, or one longer 30-minute walk, that just allows you to check that box. So when you wake up the next day, you're like, I did my non-negotiable. And this is something I did back then when I was losing all that weight. And it served me really well back then, and it serves me really well today. Trust me, there are still plenty of days where I wake up and I'm just like, I don't have it in me today. Going to the gym just isn't in the cards. And yes, some days I have to push through and I have to go. But as long as I get my movement in, my non-negotiable movement, I know I'm doing the things required to keep momentum going. So that was habit number 1. Let's talk about habit number 2. Habit number 2 is having a water goal every single day. Back then, I used to carry around this huge gallon of water everywhere I went. And my goal was simple. By the end of the day, finish the gallon of water. And on the surface, it seems like a pretty simple habit, but lack of hydration can lead to a lot of negative side effects, especially as you're getting busy in your day, you're stressed out. And if you forget to drink a lot of water, well, sometimes dehydration can be confused for hunger. And if you're stressed and you're trying to bring your stress levels down, what's the first thing we tend to go for? Candy bar, chips, something quick at the gas station, drive through, or you get home and you just start snacking on whatever's around the house. But if we have water as a primary part of our daily habit, we can avoid some of that hydration issue, right? Where you're not gonna be dehydrated, you're probably gonna feel more full, you're gonna have more energy because being fully hydrated does provide more energy. And you also have something to lean into from a habit perspective, meaning, if you're sitting there going, man, I could really go for something to eat right now. You see your water, you chug some water, and you feel a little bit better. Now, this isn't me telling you have to starve yourself and you can't pay attention to any of your hunger cues. Of course, you don't want to do that, but making sure you're on top of your water is a tremendous habit. So back then, I would drink usually at least a gallon of water a day, sometimes more. And for whatever reason, that little habit kept me in line more than a lot of the other ones. It just allowed me to have something to hang my hat on every single day that I knew I got to get this done. And it almost took off the focus from food and it put it on the water, which I know sounds kind of weird, but it definitely worked for me and it might work for you. These days, I don't carry around this huge thing of water. I typically fill up about a half-gallon just water bottle, and I drink 2 of those per day. Super simple habit, something you could have in your repertoire, and it might help you stay focused and lose fat a little bit faster. Now, if you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you watching. I just want to let you know, I'm happy to take all your questions when it comes to losing fat. Losing weight is a big deal for a lot of people. They want to do it, they just don't know where to start. So I'd love to know in the comments, what's your biggest issue right now? Like, seriously, what are you struggling with? I'd love to help you. Just drop a comment and I will answer every single question that comes through when it comes to weight loss and fat loss. I've been through it all. I've tried pretty much every diet, and not to mention, I've helped thousands of clients just like you try a lot of different things and figure out what actually works. So I'm happy to give you some suggestions. No gatekeeping here, not gonna hold back any information. If you need coaching, that's a whole nother discussion, but happy to answer your questions. So drop them in the comments now. All right, habit number 3 that really helped change the game for me, and I'll give you just a slight variation that might surprise you. So this one, there'll be almost a there's almost 2 parts to this habit, and this was bulk protein prep. All right, so back in the day when I was losing all this weight, 50 pounds, and eventually 65 pounds and more over the course of time, every single week I'd have 2 days where I'd come home from work and I would put about 12 to 16 chicken breasts on the grill. And I would literally make bulk protein for the week. I'd also, on the frying pan, put a pound of ground beef, and I'd even bake fish at times. So I would literally have a fridge stocked full of protein. Now, why was this important? I mean, it's not rocket science here, right? It was easy grab and go protein sources to keep me on track with my nutrition. Now, I don't do that today, but I do recommend having protein sources always ready to go so that you don't have to guess as to what you're gonna eat. These days, I prefer to order my protein sources from meal prep companies or protein bulk companies that sell you protein in bulk. So I have them ready to go in my fridge or freezer anytime I need them. This is super, super important. Convenience here is the name of the game. Back then I had more time. I could spend an hour cooking all my protein for a few days and then do it again a few days later. These days, I just don't have that kind of time, and maybe I do if I move things around, but I just prefer more convenience. So I just have an auto order that goes out to these meal prep companies where every month they send me a chunk of protein in bulk, I put it in the freezer, and then every week I just pull out a few so that they're ready to go for my meals. This just makes meal prep so easy. The good news is, if you travel a lot, you could have frozen meals that get sent to your hotel room that you could just heat, or frozen protein sources that you could just heat in a microwave. This is also great if you have a family and you just don't have a ton of time to cook. You could just defrost this stuff overnight and then it's ready to go for the next day. The big lesson here, though, is to have anchor points in your week where you know your nutrition is being handled. And that might look like just getting a shipment of protein meals from whoever you order from. I'm happy to give you some suggestions if you need them, but it's just an anchor point in your week and you know nutrition is taken care of. There's no guesswork, right? You're not sitting there going, what am I gonna eat today? What am I gonna order today? What restaurant am I gonna go to? And yeah, sure, our nutrition plans that we do with our clients include eating out at times. They include variety at times for sure. But at the end of the day, most of your meals should be pretty consistent and shouldn't take a lot of guesswork. So this is just something that served me a ton back then, continues to serve me a ton now. Having my protein handled as fast and as easily as possible is important when it comes to staying on top of my nutrition. It led me to losing a ton of weight. It led me to really finding enjoyment with my nutrition again, because there's a video I did a while back, I'll tag it here. I talk about the 5 foods that I would eat when I lost 50 pounds in 3 months. And most of them are protein-based foods, but I had variety by using protein foods in different ways. For example, I would have a ton of chicken made. Sometimes I would make a Chipotle bowl with the chicken. Sometimes I would make chicken tacos. Sometimes I'd make a chicken pizza, but I had the chicken itself ready to go. So all I needed to do was add whatever ingredients for the type of meal I wanted, but the hard part was already out of the way. This is really, really important when it comes to staying on top of your nutrition. It makes eating right so much easier. So get your protein cooked in bulk, or order your protein in bulk, or do a combination of the two. Just make sure your protein is handled every single week. All right, this video helped. Let me know by liking the video If you haven't already subscribed, first of all, I appreciate you subscribing to the channel. And don't forget to comment with what you need help with when it comes to fat loss. And I'll just say this, we have a coaching program, it's called the True Transformation. It is for busy professionals who want to feel like a champion when it comes to their health and fitness, who just don't have the time or the capacity to sacrifice work, family, social life in order to get in shape. But at the end of the day, you want to feel good, right? You want to have energy, you want to feel good in your own skin again, and you want to be healthy long-term for the people you care about. That's where we come in. We design programs that are built for you. We don't do cookie cutter stuff. It's all unique based off your lifestyle. And it's built to give you what we call a permanent transformation. So if you're interested in our program, there's a couple ways to take a next step. And that is go to the link that is in the description of this video or in the first comment, fill out a brief survey, book a quick chat, and me and my team will map out a plan for you to get you the results you want and to create that permanent transformation. My name's Josiah. Appreciate you watching. Life moves fast. Make it count. I'll talk to you on the next video. Peace.